Hello! Today we are going to talk about the Hellraiser franchise. And we have just watched all 11 of them. And well, yes, I can tell you that I was really scared of watching them because I've heard that they are really gory and disgusting. And I have only seen Hellraiser 2 before this, and that was like in 2008 or 9 or something like that. I don't remember. No, it had to be around there. So it's almost 20 years ago. Yay. And I just remember being so shocked by it. And yeah, it was disgusting. But at the same time, a lot of people talk about this franchise, and I actually have a figurine. Let's see if you can see that. Ooh, wait. There. It's a bobblehead of Pinhead that I bought when I was in Los Angeles. And I always felt a bit ashamed. Sorry, the camera is crooked. Of having that when I haven't seen the movies, or I have seen one, but that doesn't count. So yeah, we just started watching them, and yeah, that was a experience. And I think my ranking is going to be a bit controversial. Some of them are I probably have in the same place. I'm thinking the ones that are some of the worst and some okay. But then I have three movies that will probably mix it up a bit. But you will see. But I will start by showing you this box. We have the Hellraiser franchise in very different editions and versions and whatever. But we have this six film set, the Hellraiser collection, and this contains number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And on 11th place in this ranking, because I'm going worst to best, of course, is Hellseeker. And that is number 6. And I can tell you that on place 10, I have Hellraiser Inferno, which is the one that comes before Hellseeker. And they could change place any day. They are kind of equal in some way, and in some way not. But the reason that Inferno gets the placement higher is because you follow a guy that you hate, and it's just frustrating to watch, and you don't like anything about it. You don't care if the guy makes it out, because no. And it feels like they are going for neo noir with David Lynch style, and mixing in a bit of Silent Hill, and some of that is really cool, but no. And I was really excited about this actually, because I think this was the one that Scott Derrickson directed, and I really like his movies. But yeah, it was in the beginning of his career, and yeah, maybe the script isn't that good, but he was writing that as well. So yeah, he's to blame. Uh, but they just throw in Pinhead in the end, it feels like, and with a stupid moral tale of whatever, and you just don't care. But I actually gave it a 2, and that is the same with Hellseeker. And Hellseeker is kind of the same story. You follow a guy that is horrible, and the only thing that makes this worse is that not the only thing, but it's like 95% of the movie is this guy and terrible, terrible story and everything. And then the last 5% is a really good ending, actually. But it came too little too late. And if that would have been better, this would have gotten above Inferno. But it just doesn't save it. But yeah, they are equally bad. And I gave both a 2, I think. I'm checking on my papers. Yes. Um, and yeah, and in Hellseeker there is so many dream sequences that at the after a while you are just like, I don't know if this is going to be another thing he wakes up from, and it's just not interesting at all. So even though they are not, I really detectives going on a um, murder mystery and such, because both of these are, but these, God, I can't talk. But both of these are done in a terrible way, and if they're going after the 7 look, they fail. So yeah, those are terrible, and they are both in this box. And before we continue with other movies in that box, we have the only one we have on Blu-ray, and it's Hellraiser Revelations. This one is the first where there is no Doug Bradley as Pinhead. As you can see, the guy they have hired to play Pinhead is like, why? No, I don't like him at all. And this one and another one I'm going to talk about later has really terrible rating on Letterboxd. I think both of them has under 2. I think. I think it's these two, this one and another one. But people seem to hate this because you don't even have Doug Bradley in it. And it's a really weird story because it begins kind of interesting, and more like a modern version. I think, when was this from? It was from, if I only had it here, which I have, 2011. Yeah, this is the one with the worst rating, apparently. But it's not as bad as everyone keeps saying, but it's not good. I gave this a 2 as well. And as I said, it starts out good, but then after like half of the movie, it totally goes way off. It's just weird, and it makes no sense, and it's just really terrible. And I haven't watched Funny Games, but I am thinking that some of this reminds is similar. I don't know how to describe it, but it was not a pleasant watch. It was really weird. Let's see, did I say something else about this? I don't think so. It's just bad. It's not bad, but it's not good. And I gave it a 2 as well. So let's put it here. And now I think we go back to the box. Yeah. And now we have number 7, Hellraiser Deader. And this is also about kind of a murder mystery, but you follow a journalist. And I actually like her performance in this one. And it's more like a cult. Yeah, it's more like a cult in this one. And it's just, it has a good idea, but then they don't follow through, and it gets weird, and it's not logical at all. And you don't get if it's the cult that is bad, or it's Pinhead, or obviously both. And you don't care about anybody except her, and you don't care that much. Oh god, just saw that this is creepy. I don't think did. I give this, yeah, I gave this a 2 as well. They try to make it really complicated, and that's a problem with a lot of the movies in this franchise. They try to take something very simple and make it really complicated, and then they don't tie it all together, so it's weird. But yeah, no, I didn't like that one either. Then we have, is it also from here? Yeah, it's number 4, Hellraiser Bloodline, and that's when this franchise goes to space, which we all know is not a good thing, but it's okay. And this one, they kind of explain why in a good way, and you follow like uh, 3 different versions of people in what's it called, in the bloodline. But you follow a guy, and then you follow some um oh what's it called, descendant, is called it, but some years ahead in the same family, and then they go, and then they are in space, and they try to destroy Pinhead. And fine, that's okay, but I don't really get, uh, they, I don't know, there are some really weird stuff, and the good parts are the ones that are shorter, if that makes sense. Let's see if I wrote anything else. Yeah, Pinhead and everything. It's like, this one was the one that got an Alan Smithy, and I don't think it's that terrible, but I can understand why, because it was a terrible production apparently. But they had a good idea, like I have said a lot, but they don't do something good with it. But I think I gave it, yeah, I gave it 2.5. So now we're going up. 2.5 out of 5 at least. And then we come to number 3, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. I think this is the one I remember the least. Yeah, I don't. It's higher because it was more entertaining, but it's like kind of boring in the beginning, and then something really interesting happens, and there is some really good one-liners. I'm sorry, I yawned, so I thought you wouldn't had to watch that, so I paused. Never mind. But the cool thing about number three is the new Cenobites, because you have Pinhead, and then you have some new ones, and they are really cool. That final act is kind of fun to watch, but still it's kind of so, and I gave it a 3 out of 5. So that's okay, but that's still in the era when they have really gross gore. Yeah. And then which one is next? Yeah, now we are starting to get controversial, I think. My number, which is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. My number 5, we are already at number 5, is the first Hellraiser. I can say that, and I've said it a lot of times before, but I have a problem with 80s gore because it's always so slimy, and it looks, it looks too real. And that's a good thing, I guess, but I have a problem with it. But I can recognize that this is a cult film for many, and that a lot of people like it, and I have respect for that because it's really cool. But I would have liked to know more, and I really don't like the characters, and it's just gross. It's just gross. And I gave this a 3 as well. The Cenobites are cool, of course, and Doug Bradley, I haven't mentioned that, but he's always doing his part really well. I really like him, but he doesn't get much screen time in the other movies I've talked about. But I don't know, they are creepy, but they are focusing so much on Frank, and he's just gross and a terrible character. So I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't care, and I had to, you know, close my eyes when I watched it, and I hate when I have to do that. But nevertheless, I respect it. But it's just number 5 for me. So now, moving on. And number 4, if you know which movies are left, yeah. Number 2. And I have the same problem with this as the first one, which is that it's really gross. The thing that is better with this one is that it's more lore, and it's kind of a bit like the Mummy, and I love the Mummy, and every story that is has something to do with the mummy or a mummy. Yeah, Egyptian mythology and everything. And they have a little bit like that in here, and it's also a bit like cosmic horror almost. And I really like Kirsty Cotton, um, which is she's having a more significant part in this one. And I gave this a 3. I know a lot of people have this as their favorite, but yeah, there is some famous scenes in this one that I really like. Like for instance, when you see, I don't want to spoil it, but you see a bloody person, and it says that I should know. It says, "Help me, I'm in hell," or something like that. Yeah, but it's all over the place, and they just want to do cool stuff, and I don't know. It's number 4, okay? Now we are getting crazy, because my number 3 is in this box, and it's number 8. It's Hellraiser Hellworld. And before you start, I just want to say that Lance Henriksen is in it, and Lance Henriksen is always a good time. He's always good. And it's cheesy 2000 horror. It's like a slasher, but with Pinhead, and I don't know. It's just awesome. And we have Henry Cavill in an early role, if you pronounce his name like that. And when I watched that, I said that this is the best one yet, but it wasn't, obviously. But it's funny. It has some twists and turns, and it's just a good time, you know. And I gave that a 3 as well. So all of the Hellraiser movies from number 11 in my ranking to number 3 are between 2 and 3. So that says a lot about what I think about this franchise. But then I watched 2 that I really, really liked. And when I watched, no, I can't say that. But yeah, they were awesome anyway. So up until this one, they are okay, but the ones that I have left are awesome, I think. And no one will agree with me. Yeah, my husband agreed a bit, but not as much as, yeah, never mind. Number 2, Hellraiser Judgment. And this one has a really terrible score on Letterboxd. And it was just fun. And the funny thing is that when we started watching it, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be the most terrible one, because it starts out really, really gross, even more gross than the other in the series. And I was like, I can't watch that. It's like, it's wrong of me to compare it to like Hostel or something like that because I haven't watched that. But it's what I imagine that you're feeling when you watch Hostel. And that was just gross. But then it gets better. And I really, really love how they mix different mythologies and characters together. And I love the ending. It's so fun. And I love how they twist around um, some things that usually happens. They don't happen. They happen some other way. And I like that the director is playing, what's he called? I wrote that down. The auditor. The auditor. He's an epic character. And that is actually the director. And if I can remember, I think he's the one that has done the makeup in the other movies, the ones in the beginning. And we don't get Doug Bradley in this one either, because this is the latest one, if you don't count, yeah, the latest one. So he's not in it, but it doesn't matter here because they have made their own thing and it's really, really cool. And I gave I gave this 4.5 out of 5 because I was really entertained, and at the end of the movie I didn't remember the beginning, and that it was so gross. Yeah, and I like that it's a murder mystery again, but better and more interesting. And yeah, I really like this one. Who am I? It's like, what? And this is from 2016. And I don't know. I don't know. It was just great. I recommend. No one else recommends, but I recommend. And then my number one, the remake. Again, who am I? Remakes, really, but it's not really a remake. It's a remake in the matter of because it's not like all of the other movies are, you know, following after one another. It's just like 1, 2, maybe 3, but this one has some things that I consider a remake because they are taking elements from number 1 and number 2. And the thing that I think are really good with this one is that this is the first movie that they really show the puzzle box as a puzzle box. And I think they have made that really good, really interesting. And all of the things that you didn't find logical in the other movies, they are explaining in a good way. Yeah, I think they actually do that. They have a thing going on and they tie it together in the end, and they do explain a lot of the things. And the Cenobites are really, really cool. Pinhead also, even though they are not called Pinhead in this one. I think it's the priest. I don't remember, but they are really cool and really, really like a horror movie. And I actually like the characters and care for them. And it's by David Bruckner, by the way, and he made The Ritual and Night House, and I really love Night House. I have to rewatch Ritual, but yeah, I just recommend this. This is a really good movie. I gave this a 5, I would guess. Otherwise, it's wrong. Yeah, I gave this a 5, and it's so weird. It's like in this one, the gore feels. I don't like gore ever. If someone says that, oh, don't use gore, you don't get to see anything, and they think it destroys the movie. I'm like, yeah, show it to me. I would love to see it without the gore. I can picture it in my head. But in this one and some other movies we have watched lately, I actually think that they have made good gore. I don't like to say that, but I think there's a time and a place, and the place is here. And yeah, this is from 2000. When is it from? Yeah, 22. It's from 2022. That's easier to say. Um, and I really recommend it. It's really good. It's my favorite Hellraiser movie. And I know some people actually like this one, but I don't think anyone has it as their favorite. Um, and that's the interesting thing when you watch all the movies in a franchise and you haven't watched like any of them before, and it's you already know what most people like or dislike, and when you find yourself not agreeing with that, you kind of feel terrible and just wanting to, it feels like it's forbidden to like the bad ones that others consider the bad ones, and the opposite. But at the same time, you have to make your own opinion, and this is the good Hellraiser movies. I'm sorry, I said it. This is the good Hellraiser movies, and the other ones are okay with some bad ones. So overall, I'm actually glad we watched this franchise. I was not having a best of time, and when we watched 5 and 6, which are the bottom, I was losing hope, and my husband got really upset because they were so upsetting and frustrating. But it fixed itself, so number 10 and 11 are the best. And yeah, that is my ranking, and please let me know what you think, um which you like and which you don't like, and if you agree with me or disagree, obviously. Yeah. Bye.